When we tried to put in the bolts, all the holes were gone. So we drilled it out so that it would fit, and with a little bit of help from an adapter kit, we had that engine running just like a song.
The station Central Florida turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. News Talk AM 580 WDBO Orlando, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. Are millions of Americans in store for a big increase in taxes next year? They could be. More from ABC's Vic Ratner at the Capitol.
Saying he's disappointed that the Senate rejected the middle-class-only tax cut. President Obama appealed to both sides for a quick tax cut compromise to keep every American from getting hit with a tax hike January 1st.
We need to redouble our efforts to resolve this impasse in the next few days.
And there was agreement from Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell on that.
I think it's time for the games to stop and progress to be made.
Sources report negotiators are nearing a compromise that would extend all the tax cuts at least for 2 years and renew extended unemployment benefits. Vic Ratner, ABC News at the Capitol.
If at first you don't succeed.
I am very pleased that the United States and South Korea have reached agreement on a landmark trade deal between our two countries.
The deal needs congressional approval. There are a lot of stranded passengers in Chicago. The first major snowfall of the season's caused hundreds of flights at O'Hare to be canceled. The airspace over Spain has reopened now that air traffic controllers are back to work.
The government's drastic intervention has resolved the immediate crisis here, but Spain's airports are still in chaos, with a huge backlog of cancelled flights and tens of thousands of stranded, frustrated passengers who still have no idea when they'll be flying.
The BBC's Sarah Rainsford in Madrid. Firefighters from around the world continue to help Israel battle a massive forest fire.
In addition to this solidarity, many of them have actually dispatched pilots, firefighters, material crews. They're standing shoulder to shoulder with us on the ground and in the skies, fighting this terrible fire.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. 2 minors are under arrest. Police say the case was probably negligence, not arson. You're listening to ABC News.
Now, a WDBO news update from Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
6 people are recovering from serious carbon monoxide poisoning in Ocala. Investigators said crews responded to the Sutton Place apartment complex earlier today after 3 adults and 3 children reported feeling ill. Crews said when they arrived, the victims were vomiting and showing signs of severe poisoning. The 6 patients have been taken to Monroe Regional Medical Center in Ocala. Firefighters are at the scene looking at possible problems with the complex's heating system. The Florida Highway Patrol says it issued more than 12,000 traffic citations during the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. FHP says according to preliminary data, troopers made 121 DUI arrests and cited almost 5,000 drivers for speeding. Preliminary data, including reports from other law enforcement agencies, show there were 23 motorist fatalities. An Orlando judge has denied bond for the husband of boxer Christy Martin. James Martin is accused of violently attacking the former women's boxing champion. Martin appeared in court today where his lawyer unsuccessfully asked the judge to set bond for the 66-year-old. Deputies say Martin stabbed and shot the 42-year-old boxer during a fight at their house last week after she told him she was leaving for a woman. Martin is charged with attempted murder and aggravated battery with a weapon. The sheriff's office says he is currently under psychological observation. At least 6 people have been hospitalized after a charter bus carrying high school students crashed into a pickup truck last night in Eustis. Florida Highway Patrol says the truck driver lost control and ended up in the path of the bus. Officials say the bus driver tried to avoid a collision, but the front of his vehicle hit the truck and pushed it to a tree. The bus driver and 3 teenagers in the truck were airlifted to Orlando Regional Medical Center. A Seminole County school spokesperson says the bus was carrying Winter Springs high school students on a trip with their youth group to a retreat at the Ocala National Forest. For more on these stories and the important local news of the day, watch Channel 9 Eyewitness News tonight at 7. WDBO News Time 5:04. Traffic and weather are next.
When you find yourself in need of news or need the latest weather forecast, go to WDBO.com. Information on demand.
Yeah. This is the text message 19-year-old Ashley Umscheid was reading when she flipped her car and died on impact. Yeah. Research shows you're 23 times more likely to get into an accident when you text while driving. No text message is worth dying over. Don't ruin your life or someone else's over something as meaningless as yeah. Texting and driving, it can wait. A message from AT&T, CTIA, the Wireless Association, and the National Safety Council.
Twinkling lights, larger-than-life displays, Christmas music, Santa Claus. Does this describe your house during the holidays? If so, we have a treat for you. Log on to WDBO.com, keyword Wonderland, and submit your photo for a chance to win a VIP experience at Central Florida's new family holiday tradition, the Wonderland of Lights. It's a spectacular drive-through lighting event with more than 100 scenes and thousands of twinkling lights. Going on now through January 9th at Osceola Heritage Park with News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
Good evening, it's 5:05 here at News Talk AM 580 WDBO, and it's time to check in with the 24-hour WDBO Safe Touch Security Traffic Network and Paul Barnett.
I-4 is moving well in both directions. State Road 408 westbound at the Dean Road Toll Plaza. Construction continues to block the two left lanes. Minor delays there. And there's a serious accident that has the right lane blocked on I-95 southbound at the 238 mile marker. Expect major delays in that area. This report's brought to you by Backstage Nightclub and Sports Bar. Shake things up tonight and every night at Backstage Nightclub and Sports Bar at Rosen Plaza Hotel. Located just off I-4 on I-Drive. Rock out with the Rock Stars, Inc. every Friday and Saturday night. On a station with traffic every 6 minutes in the morning, I'm Paul Barnett.
A milder night in store for Central Florida with low temperatures dropping back into the lower 50s. This ahead of a cold front that comes through tomorrow with some clouds, no rain, but temperatures falling through the 60s during the afternoon on Sunday. From Severe Weather Center 9 and WDBO, I'm meteorologist Brian Monahan.
And the latest scan of the WDBO weather radar shows no rain across Central Florida. It is 66 in College Park and 67 here at News Talk AM 580 WDBO, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
The following hour was paid for by the host and does not reflect the opinion of AM 580 WDBO. The Pool Fanatics are on News Talk AM 580 WDBO. Brought to you each week by your host, Tony Caruso, and his company, TC Water Features. If you have questions about pool maintenance or have been thinking about adding a pool, spa area, or waterfall, you need to call now at 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. Now, the Pool Fanatics.
Welcome to the Pool Fanatics right here on News Talk AM 580 WDBO. And you of little faith sitting out there saying, what in the world could they be talking about pools when Florida is having cold weather? Well, you better be listening because we have a lot of stuff to talk about today, especially if you have a pool or you want a pool. You got to get educated about what's going on out there. And you got all kinds of people working for you, but you all kinds of people working again you, as we used to say in the Ozarks. 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. Tony Caruso, he is the owner of Orlando Luxury Pools by TC Water Features. If you see a cool, really neat-looking fountain in the O-Town, or you go out and look at some of the most beautiful swimming pools, here's the guy. He's the guy that's been doing it. The family works with him. He's got tons of great suppliers. The subs have been his friends for years, and you're going to become his best friend right here at 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. Cold weather precautions, cold weather freezes, cold weather, what can you do? And we've got a lot of questions about energy today and a lot of questions about if you're getting ready to pull the trigger on a plug and call Tony and say, I want a pool. Well, we'll discuss before the show's over vinyl, fiberglass, or gunite. We'll be talking about the strengths and weaknesses of each one of those. Plus, we may be joined during the show by a very special guest, so this is going to kind of be fun. But the phone lines are already filling up, and we're going to put my questions second, your questions first. All right, Rich in Port Orange, what do you got to ask the Tony Caruso?
Evening, guys. My question has to do with, I think I know the problem is, but I want to know how hard is it to overhaul the main, the valve, the multi-position valve. I got a Hayward DE. Because I'm getting water coming, while the pump is running, I've got water coming out my backwash.
You've got a bad spider gasket there, Rich. Believe it or not, it's not hard to do. You should have. Do you have a 4-position or a 6-position multi-port? The 6.
I believe it's a 4-position.
Yeah, no problem. What you're going to do is basically a screwdriver and I believe a 7/16 wrench on the bottom. Pull the screws off the top.
Right.
The top assembly comes out. Pull the spider gasket out. Now, what's really key about that is your multi-port valve has a serial number on it or a model number. That's the one you need to get. You're either going to get a 5 or a 6-spoke gasket, and if you put that in there and put it back together, you will find out that you are no longer dumping water out your backwash valve, and now you're going to become you can be able to now keep your water in balance because you have to keep it refilled. So that'll solve your problem. It's going to take you, if you're going to do it yourself, you should do it for under $25.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Have a great day, sir.
All right, Tony Caruso, he's your best friend. He's a Pool Fanatic, taking your calls at 407-290-0058, 800-329-5858. Kurt in Oviedo, what's your question?
Tony, got a question about my chlorine levels in my salt pool.
Yes, sir.
My salt pool's about 13,000 gallons, and about the last 2 months, my chlorine reading has been up around 9, where my Pebble Tech folks have said that it should be around about a 1 to a 3.
There you go. Can you tell me what kind of unit you have? Obviously, your output production is too high, but tell me what system you have. Do you have go ahead.
Yeah, I've got the salt chlorinator on there, and I've got it turned down to 10%.
Yeah, which one do you have? Do you know which one you have?
Oh, that I'm afraid
Okay.
I don't know right offhand.
Okay, what you should do is you can just actually turn it off and allow that chlorine level to fall down. Now, there's a couple reasons why your chlorine level could be high, and your salt. That's obviously if your salt level is up at the level it needs to be at, around 3,400 parts per million, as a high side, and your stabilizer at about 70 to 80, you would be on your normal output, a 13,000 gallon pool. I'm not sure what cell you have. If you have an Aquarite with a T-cell 3, 9, or 15, or do you have an Aquapure 7? I don't know which one you have, but the higher the cell, the lower the output production needs to be. So if you want my opinion, I would turn it off for probably 4 or 5 days and let it drift back down. Now this is for sure. Your chlorine level is not being masked by the temperature, but believe this or not, your salt level is. It's one of those expansion and contraction things. So if it's really warm, your salt molecules are free. They're out and floating around, nice and available. Now, when it's cold, and what your pool's going to start getting cold if you don't have it heated, is your molecules are going to contract a little bit. So your salt readings could be off a little bit. Not so much today, but maybe in about next week's going to get really cold, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to happen. So I'm not sure what unit you have, but maybe inside your door it might give you a conversion for what the cold temperature salt reading would be versus a warm temperature. But good question. I would turn the system off, and then in a couple days, I would go back and check it and then turn it back on and adjust accordingly. And that should solve your problem. But great question, Kurt. Great question.
All right, good question, Kurt. And we've got more callers coming up at 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. Got a question for Tony, and that is one of my friends up in my neck of the woods was asking, he said, this is his first year with the solar array on his roof, and the pipes are up there, and the roof is ice cold. One, things that are closer to the ground in this cold weather are warmer, and number two, if you have no heat escaping from your house into your attic, your roof is going to be cold. So he wanted me to ask Tony, what happens to the water in those pipes, and what happens if they freeze? Are they going to bust? So what do I do?
Well, Rob, hopefully your system was installed correctly, and you have what's called a bird's mouth up by the roof. Now, it's a great question, by the way. For those of you who have solar and you want to verify that you have what's called a bird's mouth on your system, go out to your solar, look up by the roof. There'll be a T with a little elbow on the end of it. That's a little vent deal. Turn your pump on, let the solar purge full, then shut it off. You'll hear that thing draining. You'll hear that bird's mouth kind of give a little gurgling noise backwards. It's draining the system. So if your pump's running during the day, which it should be if you're trying to capture solar, it'll drain every day that when the pump turns off, it'll actually drain down. And so the water won't stay up there. If the solar was installed correctly, that whole collector is going to drain back down into the pool. That's why in the morning when it starts up, you hear all that bubbling, all that belching and bubbling. It's purging the air in that collectors. And it's going to, once it purges it out through the system, of course, there'll be no more bubbles coming back in the pool from solar. But that is a great question. If you don't have a bird's mouth, call my friends over at Superior Solar, and they'll come out and put one on for you.
Now, this is for the people who don't even have a pool. You are affected by pools and some of the policies in Florida when pools start to get cold. Because I was going to ask Tony today when he walked in, before we went on the air, I said, what about the pipes going to and from the pump and all that that's exposed to Mother Nature? We're going to be in the low 30s to part of our listening audience, upper 20s next week, those of you above Ocala. All right? What do you do? And, boy, then he took off on a whole tirade about what people are being taught to do that even costs those of you that don't have pools. Your floor, bud.
You want to talk? You really want to get there?
I sure do, because this is amazing to me.
Nick, how much time do we have? We have 3 minutes. We're not going to get it done in 3 minutes.
Okay,
so we'll have to. We'll get started, and we'll have to come back. For those of you who've lived in Florida for, let's say, 20 years,
sure,
you have realized there's been times where we have had brownouts and blackouts.
89,
okay?
98, remember.
I think 94 was a good year to have in there, too, because I think we burnt the neighbor's furniture in my fireplace to keep the house warm because we had no power. And my pool pump didn't run, by the way, so my power's off, my pool pump didn't run. But this is a sticky situation or sticky comment where if you please follow what I'm going to say, I'm going to promise you nothing's going to happen to your pool. You will hear some PSAs from, let's say, your local power company, for instance, that if it's going to freeze, that you need to run your pool pump because you don't want your pipes to freeze. Well, that's pretty obvious, but think about this. Your pool pump timer is not scheduled to come on at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when it freezes, Rob. Is that correct?
That's true.
Typically, your pool pump's going to come on 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Guess when it freezes? Just about the early part of the morning. If we looked at last week's weather in Ocala, it could have froze as early as 3 a.m.
Just before sunrise is the coldest temperature usually.
But if it's 25 degrees, it's going to be 25 at maybe 2, 3, 4. It's already frozen, by the way. And your pump starts, and this is a huge service call. The pipes freeze, the pump runs, the water in the pump basket's frozen, it thaws out, it breaks the pipe, you're at work, and you dump out 25 to 50%, maybe all the water in your pool, depending how big it is, and you have a major, major issue. So if we got the time, Nick, can we keep on? All right, so here's what I want you to do. Since your pool pump timer is not going to come on when it freezes, do yourself a favor, go out and turn the breaker off. Just turn the breaker off. Nothing is going to grow in your pool while it freezes, and nothing's going to grow in your pool over 1 or 2 days that we have freezing cold weather. I believe next week in Orlando, they're talking 36 and 34 respectfully. But up where you're at, Rob, it's going to be in the 20s again. And I know there's more than one pool up where you live. I know there is. So, let's think about this. If there's about 4.5 million homes in Florida, not apartments and all that, just homes, and there's 1.2 million pools in Florida, if for every 5 pool pumps that run, 1 heater in someone's home is not going to work if we go into a power shortage. Now, the power companies have done a great job ramping up the power that we need, and this year we're supposed to have a warmer winter versus last year. And I didn't experience personally any brownouts or blackouts. Very possible. So what I want you to do is shut it off, and when we come back from this break, we're going to talk about a few other things that you can do to prepare yourself so this doesn't happen. It's very important that you pick the way you're going to do this and live with it, because nothing's going to happen.
And the layman is going to need to know if he's going to turn off the breaker, does he need to open a valve somewhere to let the water that is in the pump drain somewhere? We're going to be talking about that when we come back. But folks, you've got to think about the power you're going to be using and how we don't want to go into brownouts in our state because of the problem. Okay, we'll be back. It's the Pool Fanatics right here on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
Weather. What do you need to know?
Heat advisories have been posted. It will feel more like the low 100s.
The quick 2 inches of rain, gusty winds over 50 miles per hour.
Get the picture?
If it's going to rain, I want to know what to wear so you don't get wet.
Not be cold, so I know whether to put sunscreen on my kids.
Got to know whether you need long shorts or short shorts.
I love hot weather.
Drink a lot of water, a lot of sunscreen.
Weather reports
You're the only radio station where we're getting our news from.
News Talk AM 580 WDBO. Turn it on. Keep it on.
It's lonely at the top. If you're a business owner, who do you share your successes and failures with? Your employees? Your spouse? There is one group who understands and cares about your business just like you do, and that's the National Association of Entrepreneurs. Hi, I'm Linda Barnby of the National Association of Entrepreneurs, and we have the knowledge and the expertise to understand and help you overcome your business challenges. Remember the excitement and adventure you felt when you first started your business? The National Association of Entrepreneurs can help you grow your business, boost your profits, and have more fun doing it. Put our network of business experts to work for your business. Visit thenae.org. That's THENAE.org. And listen every Sunday at 4 to the Building Your Business show right here on WDBO.
Hey, would you drink your pool water? Sure, it's a crazy question, but the answer could be yes if you have the patented, amazing ionization system from Clearwater Technologies in your home or community pool. It's true. Pools that use the Clearwater ionization system sparkle with a water quality that exceeds the EPA standards for drinking water. Oh, and the benefits don't stop there. There's no need for chlorine in your pool ever again. That's right. No more allergic reactions, no harmful chemicals that can be absorbed into your skin. Oh, and here's the best part, more money in your pocket. Log on to poolschlorinefree.com and find out how your pool can become a mineral bath with copper and silver ions naturally. That website again is poolschlorinefree.com. That's poolschlorinefree.com. And kiss chlorine goodbye forever.
Want to make the holidays even happier? Give your wish list an upgrade and treat yourself to the ultimate gift from Honda. Happy Honda Days are here again, and now's the perfect time to trade in your old sleigh for something a little sportier, like the versatile CR-V, Motor Trend's favorite crossover. And be sure to check out the 8-passenger Pilot. Come in today and see why Honda has the highest loyalty of any automotive brand. Or go to shophonda.com to build and price the present you really want. Now, during Happy Honda Days.
Loyalty based on MY09 Polk statistics as of January 2010. Honda had the greatest percentage of households return to another new Honda vehicle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Many of you know how much I value my time with my family and my friends. Now, when I travel, I keep an eye out for extraordinary things to share with them. And I want you to know that a Thompson Air hot air balloon ride is one of those special things. Now, Captain Jeff Thompson is a proud sponsor of our Freedom Concert, and he operates a truly wonderful family business. Now, look, why don't you call him today and take the entire family with you and take a flight with these great Americans?
Hi, this is Captain Jeff Thompson. For over 30 years, I've been creating wonderful memories for people just like you. Even after your flight, you will have a difficult time putting into words the magic of a balloon flight. Trust me when I say the best ride in Central Florida isn't found in the parks. It's floating over them.
This year, put an adventure under someone's tree and give the gift of an unforgettable experience. A Thompson Air hot air balloon ride. Call 407-421-9322 or visit thompsonair.com. That's THOMPSONAIRE.com.
It's a necessity for your car. Talking about the first button on your car radio. When severe weather strikes, make sure that first button is set to News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
Pool Fanatics, you bet, right here on News Talk AM 580, WDBO 407-290-0058, 800-329-5858. I have this vision of a lot of Floridians that have the nice heated pools, that you've got a big, old, long robe and some really warm shoes, and you jump in the pool and you swim around for a while or get in the hot tub, and then you immediately jump out and put that robe on and get to the house post-haste. Janet in Oviedo, before we go back to our discussion of what happens when the temperatures start to freeze and the power companies are sitting there pumping all the power they can. We'll be talking about that more as we go along with Janet. What's your question in Oviedo?
The question I have is we have a pool that's about a year old, and since we've gotten our pool, it's a salt pool, our electric bill has skyrocketed. We just have the standard Jayco pump that they put on whenever they put the pool in. Would it be beneficial to us to upgrade to a more efficient pool pump that would save us on our electric bill?
Absolutely. Do you have just a pool or a pool spa fountain waterfalls, pool spa, or pool and solar? Tell me exactly what you got.
I have just a salt pool. It's, I think, 13,000 gallon with just a couple of waterfalls, no spa or anything.
And you don't run your waterfalls all day, every day, is that correct?
No, we do not.
Yeah, you need a 2-speed pump. You would need a 2-speed pump. You run your low speed for your normal filtration cycle because you don't run your water features every day, and you run it in high speed when you want to run your waterfalls. You would be amazed. Do you know what size pump you have currently today?
No, I don't.
Okay, and if you have a Jandy, what do you think your power bill cost you on your pool pump? What do you think it's costing you?
Our power bill probably went up about $70 to $75 a month.
Wouldn't doubt it a bit. You've probably got a horse and a half. A horse and a half is going to run you somewhere around $70 to $90 a month. And if you go to a 2-speed, you're going to cut that power bill down from that high speed into low speed by about 65%. So if we took $40 a month off your power bill, would you be interested in doing that?
Oh, I would definitely.
Yeah. So think about that. If you did, if you save $40 to $50 a month in 12 months, and we're at $600 a year, your return on investment is less than 10 months. Give us a call at the office, Janet, at 407-282-4911. We'll come out and take a look at for you and convert you over. You'll be amazed. You'll see the savings immediately, and you will be amazed how easy it is to save money by putting in the correct pump for the correct application that you have.
Okay, thank you so much.
Have a wonderful day and stay
Thank
warm.
you, Janet. Get a hold of them. We'll be repeating phone numbers and websites. And, you know, that fits into what we were talking about earlier, believe it or not, Janet, because if we get more efficient pool pumps and you are saving energy, thereby money, you are also helping when we get to one of these very cold spells to keep power going in Florida, right?
Right. 2011, July of 2011, which has been pushed back to December of 2011, that every pool pump 1 horsepower or greater shall be 2-speed. So, Janet, if your pool was built next year, at the end of next year, it'd automatically be a 2-speed. That's not an option. There's some other energy items that are coming on for 2011 as well, but the biggest one is the 2-speed pump. And by the way, it doesn't mean you got to have a waterfall pump that's 2-speed. Your primary filtration pumps shall be 2-speed. It's not an option.
And hopefully before the end of the show today, I want you to review the new laws that go into effect for 2011, because I know you're on every panel and you go to Tallahassee and fight for the pool owner, but also we want to talk about rules that took effect in 2010 that aren't being adhered to.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of that.
Well,
out
we have a few counties that aren't even following the Florida Building Code, and they're not here, by the way. They're on the West Coast. They don't even follow our total dynamic head rules that we have that was put out by the ANSI 7, which is our ANSI 7 standards. That's a guideline from the Virginia Graham-Baker Act. It's truly amazing. But you want to get back on the subject of
what do I do to my pump? And you were saying turn the breaker off to the pump, but how about the water that's still in the pump, Tony?
Well, it's okay. What I would recommend to do is pull the top off and flip it upside down. Okay, that's one. If you have an automated system and you have a system that's about 3 or 4 years old, it already has built-in modules in it that are built-in mode that'll automatically go into freeze protect, and it won't let your pump run. And you can raise that default temperature. Now, Larry Perry was just in here, and he told me that his comes on. Automatically. Well, there is a vendor, not one of mine, that built it into their program that pays the power company to run that. It's just paid the power company for the power bill to run that pool pump. It automatically stays on. It's freeze protect. So we have a freeze protect mode that shuts you down. His freeze protect shuts himself on. Now, Larry's going to sit there and pay that power bill because it tells it to come on. Well, there's a program, there's a chip we can change out of that and get that to change back to changing the default temperature. Now, if you're on a Gold Line system that's about 3 or 4 years old, it's automatically built in. When we go in and set those up, we actually raise the freeze protect to 38 degrees.
Really?
Yeah. 38 degrees.
But there's still not a residual amount of water hiding somewhere in those pipes that might freeze and bust the pipe?
Yeah, but think about this. If you take the lid off, and if the water in the basket...
There's no pressure.
There's no pressure. Once you shut off, there's no pressure. If the water in the basket's not frozen, then pretty much everything else is thawed out.
Sure.
Yeah,
okay.
So, don't run out there and, at 8 o'clock in the morning and put the lid back on and want to do this. Now, what's going to happen when you turn the breaker off? The time's going to be off. So you got to reset the time in your time clock. So that's another thing that you should consider doing. By the way, nothing's going to grow in your pool if your pool pumps off for a day or 2 or 3. But let's talk about what you can't do in the winter. You cannot not sanitize your pool in the winter. This is another big thing that happens. Come around April, May of next year, you got little black spots in your pool.
Oh, yeah.
That's called black algae. Yeah, and that's because you didn't put enough sanitizer in your pool or maintain, and they're going to spend a ton to clean it up, and it's hard to get rid of.
And JQ Public just thinks just because it's cold, nothing's going to grow in the pool.
Be surprised.
All right, we're going to come back with a lot more. It's the Pool Fanatics right here on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
The station Central Florida turns to first for live team coverage of breaking news. News Talk AM 580 WDBO, Orlando, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
Could millions of Americans celebrate New Year's while rueing a new tax increase? A Saturday Senate session shot down 2 test votes on tax cuts, but talks on a compromise begin next week. President Obama confirms a new trade deal between the U.S. and South Korea, which includes relaxing stricter safety standards for U.S. cars and ending tariffs on American vehicles. The Senate would have to ratify the agreement. Travelers are stranded right now at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. Hundreds of flights have been canceled during the area's first major snowstorm. Karen Pride, spokesperson for the Chicago Department of Aviation.
At Midway International, the airlines were reporting delays averaging about 45 minutes earlier today, and now they're just a few delays averaging 30 minutes. No cancellations at Midway.
Stranding travelers at airports in Spain, or rather stranded travelers, are finally getting going again after the end of a wildcat strike by air traffic controllers. It grounded planes for a second day. It's a long-running dispute over pay and working conditions. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
First thing Monday morning when you wake up, get local in-depth coverage of the day's top stories. News Talk AM 580 WDBO. Depend on it. Every day, the financial landscape changes.
There is a clear trend today that we as Americans have lost confidence in our banks, in corporate America, in our Congress. We feel betrayed.
And every day, Clark Howard is there to help you navigate through it.
And as somebody who is a free marketeer, and as somebody who's been an entrepreneur for most of my adult life, even with all these enterprises behaving badly, it is still my belief that overwhelmingly most business people do business in an ethical way. Most are just trying to provide a product or service that you want to buy. And there are certain segments of the economy where, for whatever reason, a lot of people in those segments lost their way. It is just unfortunate that we're in a position that we're giving money to companies that long ago lost any moral standing, not just with me, but with the American people.
Weekdays 1 to 3, only on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
Good evening, it's 5:32 here at News Talk AM 580 WDBO, and it's time to check in with the 24-hour WDBO Safe Touch Security Traffic Network and Paul Barnett.
I-4 eastbound from Orange Blossom Trail to John Young Parkway. Expect 5 minutes of travel time due to congestion. State Road 408 westbound at the Dean Road Toll Plaza. Construction continues to block the 2 left lanes, just minor delays there. And we report of an accident on Orange Blossom Trail at Doss. This report's brought to you by Interstate Batteries. Interstate Batteries are preferred 5-to-1 by auto technicians, so choose the car battery that experts choose. Find your local dealer at interstatebatteries.com. On a station with traffic every 6 minutes in the morning, I'm Paul Barnett.
A milder night in store for Central Florida with low temperatures dropping back into the lower 50s. This ahead of a cold front that comes through tomorrow with some clouds, no rain, but temperatures falling through the 60s during the afternoon on Sunday. From Severe Weather Center 9 and WDBO, I'm meteorologist Brian Monahan.
And the latest scan of the WDBO weather radar shows no rain across Central Florida. It is 64 in Lake Buena Vista and 65 here at News Talk AM 580 WDBO, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
When it matters most, remember News Talk AM 580 WDBO, Central Florida's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it. Neil Bortz.
Were you vigilant when the Republicans said we're going to get rid of the Department of Education?
The right place for conservative talk. Weekdays 9 to 1 on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
Welcome back. It is the Pool Fanatic Show. Yes, indeed, featuring our own Tony Caruso, the owner of Orlando Luxury Pools, TC Water Features. I mean, you look around Orlando, Central Florida, you are going to see some of the most beautiful pools, some of the most beautiful water features you have ever seen. A little bit later on, I'm going to ask Tony. I'm going to say, hey, Tony, if there's a wife out there whose husband has 2 or 3 of everything, already got the Ping golf clubs, already got the boat at the marina, already got the country club membership, what can she give him? How about a fountain for that landscape he takes so much pride in, and not some put-it-together 4-piece fountain from the big box store? We're talking about a cool fountain that does everything. Going to ask him about that coming up. But right now, in review, folks, it looks to me, and kind of I'll review this, and then Tony can tell me where I was wrong. It seems like we as consumers or pool owners have been taught throughout the years that what we need to do when it freezes is turn that pump on and let her rip. I guess we've been misinformed.
Yeah, I've been for I hate to say this, for over 20 years, I've been an advocate to shut it off.
Yeah,
I have been. And my pool pump doesn't run when it freezes because I know nothing's going to grow. But here, this is what's happening. I went to a couple homes this week, and we did some energy evaluations. I'm looking at time clocks, and they're on 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. Promise you what, you'll have black algae next year. Don't cut your run times down. Put the right pump on your pool, put the efficient pump on your pool, and you're going to have a $20, $25, or $35 a month power bill, versus $80, $90, $100, $120 a month. Filtration is important, which in turn gives you sanitation if you have the proper sanitizer in your pool. Think about this. If your pool pump runs 4 hours a day, it's not running for 20. For 20 hours a day, your pool pump's not running.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're not swimming in it, but you're looking at it. But if you don't have a pool if you can't use it. It's like having the boat, Rob. You got the boat, it's cold out, you're not going to go, it's cold. Well, heat your pool. Give us a call. We have some heating specials going on, too. So for those of you who aren't following us on Facebook or Twitter, join
and you've got specials on Facebook and Twitter for your customers, right?
We have for quite a while. That's not something, I should be talking about this from day one, but we have always had specials on Facebook and Twitter. And if you want to go on and see what they are, I've got a couple pretty cool ones, on there. And one of them's a nice incentive for a nice LED light for your pool. So it's a nice little perk, too, that we'll put back into your pool area.
Okay, now, how do they find you on Facebook?
Well, let's see. Rob, that's a big question. My daughter-in-law, I already call my wannabe daughter-in-law, Donna.
Yeah.
She will be my daughter-in-law in March. She does all my Facebook and Twitter.
She's going to like it when you stop saying wannabe.
Yeah, I know.
I saw that. I saw her eyes out there at the lake the other day. I saw that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. She was there.
I saw that. And I thought,
she does a wonderful job doing our Facebook and Twitter. And I get probably 10 a day.
Really?
People signing up, and I've got some top local celebrities that follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Believe it or not,
isn't that cool?
Yeah, and I'm not going to go who they are, but if you go in there, you'll know who they are.
You don't mean like Nick here?
Well, Nick is a celebrity.
Lord
I need to get you on there, man. You follow me. I got some good stuff that we can talk about.
I believe I am now a celebrity that has joined your group on Facebook.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just Orlando Luxury Pools by TC Water Features.
There you go.
Search that on Facebook, and bam, you can join it and be. You can be with the likes of me.
Okay, so you got specials on there.
Yeah.
And you've also probably, after this show, your daughter-in-law coming.
Donna
will write the little combinations that you've written down here for what to do when it freezes next week. Here's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, I think I got 10. I'm pretty sure I got 10 or 11. Yeah, that's we'll put that on there. It's really good information for those who are wanting to protect their investment. And look, swimming pools or pool pumps aren't the only thing that freeze. Your water line coming into your home freezes.
Yeah, our pump, actually the pipe that came out of the ground from our well that goes to that big blue thing,
Derps,
whatever that thing is, back when we lived in Mount Dora, it froze solid.
Yeah.
So we learned to wrap it.
Yeah, what you don't want to do is you need to protect that. You know, they insulate those or put them underground. But, you know, another big service call is that water line will burst. And then you're calling the plumber. You know, unfortunately, it might burst while you're not at home. So that line, you know, I'm a plumber by trade. I've had my plumbing license, believe it, before I became a pool builder.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, I insulate mine, and all my families are insulated too. So we're not going to freeze and we're not going to burst. So protect your investment. Don't run your pool pump.
Nick just showed me something very cool about your Facebook site.
What's that?
The pictures.
Oh,
I mean, we all put pictures on our thing, but not pictures of heaven. I mean, that is unbelievable.
Well, we do some. You know, it doesn't matter how much money you spend on a pool. What does matter is the quality that we put into the pool.
And the lighting. The one picture that Nick just showed me on Facebook shows that the pool and the rock features and the palm trees and the big bird cage are really cool. But boy, when you add lighting to that, you just added the ambiance of a Hilton or a Marriott. Yeah, that's beautiful.
I went out to I was in Claremont on, I think, Wednesday, and the customer, we were talking about lighting in the pool because she's got the old she's got a white finish that's pretty much eaten up, and she's got the old white light. And what's happening is that kind of gives the pool a green cast. So we're talking about putting in the either the white LED, the true bright white LED will really make your pool blue because it's giving you white light, not your off-white. Or going into a Hayward Color Logic 16 color light. 12 programs, 4 modules or 4 customs. We go in there and we can put the color module in. And she says, well, I like the blue and I like this, but I don't like it. I said, we take them out. We'll make custom programs for you. So what's really neat about that is if I had a custom program and I turned that light on for 1 minute and I turned it off, it'll restart the next time on that color. So you don't have to go back and keep on trying to find that program.
Oh, cool.
So if you turn it on, turn it off, it's just going to go ahead and rotate through the programs. But if you turn it on, wait 1 minute and turn it off, it'll restart on that program. Here's another one.
That will become your default for you refresh computer people.
Darn, that's a great word. Because, Rob, that is a default. That is your default.
See, that becomes your default, people.
Now, let's do this. If you happen to have, let's say you have multiple color LEDs in your pool, we can unsynchronize those. They will automatically synchronize, but we can unsynchronize those. For those of you who have multiple LEDs that are unsynchronized, and they're the Hayward Color Logic, I'll give you a great key to how to get those to resynchronize without pulling the owner's manual out. Turn the light on, let it burn. Unfortunately, you got to count between 11 and 13 seconds. Shut it back off, restart it, and they'll resynchronize.
How cool is that?
Really pretty cool. It's in your owner's manual, but most people don't call me up and ask me, how do I do that? It's in like the third line of your manual, but that's okay.
But like Larry was saying about his manual, it's 100 and some pages long for his pool pump. So he's not going to read it.
So you know how easy it is for him to fix that, don't you? Hey, Tony, what do I got to do?
Come on out, Tony. What do I do?
Well, I can pretty much run anybody's automation system, and I can tell you how to operate it over the telephone. So, and I do it constantly where someone will call me, ask me a question, and I'll troubleshoot it over the telephone because most automated systems have firmware information on those.
Yeah.
So if I know what those are, mine's fully involved. I got revision this, I got bridge that, I got firmware this, I got series this, I got but they're all synchronized. They all have numbers to them. And once I know the number, we can go back and tell you what to do with it. So automation's really cool. It makes life a lot easier. Takes the guessing work out of it.
Now, 407-290-0058. If you got a question for Tony, 800-329-5858. Orlando Luxury Pools on Facebook, Twitter. Now, if I remember right, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in our listening audience that are discriminating cool people and want the coolest thing on their block. If like you said one night at the office and you said to one of your suppliers or a new client, you said, hey, why don't we go out to my house and we'll have a little dinner, we'll have a little drinky poo by the pool. On the way home, through your computer, you can go ahead and turn on your light features, can't you? Or your phone or something?
Telephone, computer.
See, that's just
Rob,
sick.
we could sit here. We could sit here
sick.
At this radio station, and I can monitor with the proper program at your home. I could tell you what your pool's doing sitting right here. I could send you home with a little note, Rob, go home, you need a bag of salt to put in your pool. Your feeder needs to be refilled up. Take this home, and guess what? I can real time you right here with what your pool's doing. Now, I know you're a traveler. You're out the Ozarks. Rob,
everywhere.
You no longer have me being your primary. You could be the primary, and while you're out there, you can see what's going on, or I can send you a text or a phone message to tell you this is what I got to do to your pool while you're gone. Isn't that pretty cool?
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty awesome.
That is very good. Okay, Vernon, we're going to be getting to you in Haines City in just a minute. Remember, folks, you do make the show what it is, so we want you to give us calls at 407-290-0058 or 800-329-5858. Vernon in Haines City, what's your question?
Well, I was gone for about 3 months. I had someone checking my pool, and they turned my chlorine generator up to about 50. And so I've had it on 0 for over a month, and still the chlorine's at 9. I wonder what I can do to bring this chlorine down.
I want you to tell me what your stabilizer level in your pool is. Is your pool water look really good?
Yes, it looks good.
It looks really, really good. I'd want to curious to know what your stabilizer level in your pool is. Because what's going to happen is the higher that stabilizer in your pool is can actually somewhat mask your chlorine level in your pool. When you're doing, are you personally testing your pool water? Are you personally?
No, I took it in.
Yeah.
I took it in today and had it checked.
Did they just do the one chlorine test, or did they do all three? I'm going to ask you to have them do all three, because what's going to happen is that's going to give you you have free chlorine, you have free chlorine, you have combined, and you have total. So get a reading on those, and they'll be able to tell you. You're probably only getting the one answer. You're only getting what's the free chlorine. We want to know what the total chlorine is. So go back and have them check that. And if it's shut off for 30 days, wow, that's a buff. That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
We might have to get someone to help me on that. But I'm pretty sure you're going to find out your stabilizer level is really high. And two, obviously, if it's shut down, you want to check your stabilizer level and do all three chlorine tests. But great question, Vernon.
Mm-hmm. Here is a lady I mentioned at the top of the show. Unbelievable respect for this lady I have, and Tony does too. And I just can't thank her enough for calling in the show. And I'm sure she can't go into Publix or anywhere else without people coming up and going, how cold is it going to get next week? Dr. Anna from the Weather Channel, welcome to the show. And you are a Central Floridian. Is that true?
I was a Central Floridian when I was a little girl. My parents bought a place in Altamont Springs when I was 6 years old. My first job was at the Orange County Sheriff's Department. I worked in the filing department. And so Florida has always held a special place in my heart.
My goodness gracious.
And 2 years ago when I was filming down here for the Weather Channel, I actually came across an old failing horse farm up here actually up in Lake County, right here next to the Ocala National Forest. And I'm calling in, Tony, because I understand you are the high-efficiency, high-performance pool guru, and I'd like to just basically chat with you because we took this old failing farm, and my team and I basically transformed it into an energy-producing, eco-friendly, and a healthy home. And very proud of what we've done. We are Energy Star Remodel. We are now officially certified Platinum with the Florida Green Building Coalition. Besides a passion for horses, I stay in shape via swimming. I'm getting up there in age and looking for some low-impact sports. And so anyway, I know a lot of people think of pools as a luxury item, but I am calling in to give you the challenge to create for me the most highly efficient, eco-friendly, and energy-efficient pool that we can create here on Terra Verde.
Dr. Anna Marie, what an honor for you to call in.
Wow.
I have so much information I could pass on to you. Now, I realize, and I agree with you, swimming pools are a luxury item, and they're not always green-friendly. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of things that we can do to build you a pool, to make your pool very, very energy efficient and very, very green without not literally having green pool water. And if you want, I'll give you a list of about 11 things that we could do to your pool just sitting here today. If you want me to, I'll be glad to go over those with you. 11 different things I could do today to help give you a very eco-friendly green a pool, which I have a few pools that we built that we've gotten certified through Florida Solar Energy to be in a certified pool for energy efficiency. Okay. Number one, I'm a Hayward dealer. Everybody knows I'm a Hayward dealer. I'm a Platinum Hayward dealer. And one of the big things that we can do is if we sat down and design a pool for you is do an EcoStar variable speed pool pump. EcoStar allows me to do whatever I can dial in any RPM I want to give you any volume of water I want. I personally own one of these pool pumps, and I've reduced my power bill down from $135 a month. I'm at $17 a month. Wow. That's huge. So just right there is a big key. Number two, if we go to cartridge filter versus standard DE, we're not dumping water off the pool to refill, to rebalance again. So cartridge filter, believe it or not, doing chlorine generation and pH injection. We're going to stop you from going to and from the pool supply store and making the product on site. That's another way. LED lights are another way to be energy efficient.
Well, I was just telling your producer, my team and I just got done. We illuminated our whole barn, I guess here, 40 strands of LED lights, not even 15 watts for the entire strand. So I have the entire Terra Verde property, as I'm not sure if you are aware of this. We have over 75 plus LED lights that illuminate the barn and the house. And each of those lights is a beautiful daylight light by Cree and 10 watts of bulb. So definitely want to incorporate. I love LEDs, and for those folks out there that say, it's a harsh light, is it really worth the extra money? Believe me, it's definitely worth the extra money.
It is.
Dr. Ann, I have a friend that you would love. He does these giant displays in the cities around Florida for Christmas. And they sold a 42-foot Christmas tree to St. Petersburg, one of the St. Petersburg suburbs, about 3 years ago. And St. Petersburg gave them the notice that when they brought the tree, they only had a 110 outlet out there. And they said, well, I'm sorry, it's a 42-foot tree. There are hundreds and hundreds of lights on here. But for that city, they switched out to LED, and that entire 42-foot Christmas tree runs on one 110 outlet.
That's awesome.
That's LED for you. Hey, when we come back, more of what Tony can do for you and for other people. And Dr. Ann, if you will do us the honor of staying with us, we want to talk to you more after the break. From the Weather Channel is Dr. Anna and Tierra Verde right here in Florida. How exciting. Right here on the Pool Fanatics on News Talk AM 580 WDBO.
Weekday mornings 5 till 9. Get your daily dose of news, weather, traffic, and Jim Turner, Central Florida's Morning News on News Talk AM 580 WDBO. Depend on it.
My name is June. If you are a husband, brother, father, or grandfather, please listen. This is our first holiday season without Jerry. I just can't believe he's gone. We lost him just a few months ago to prostate cancer. He was in the prime of his life, only 50 years old when it hit. There was nothing we could do. It was just too late. If only he had had a prostate screening. If only we knew that 1 in 6 men over 40 is affected by prostate cancer, and often there are no signs or symptoms. If only.
Call Dr. Lotenfo and his staff at Urology Health Solutions and schedule your screening today. That's 407-566-1105 or visit OrlandoProstateCancer.com for more information.
Do this for your family and give them the best holiday gift of all, you.
Call Dr. Lotenfo today at 407-566-1105 or visit OrlandoProstateCancer.com for more information. Urology Health Solutions. Passion for patients. Undeniable results.
Hey, would you drink your pool water? Sure, it's a crazy question, but the answer could be yes if you have the patented, amazing ionization system from Clearwater Technologies in your home or community pool. It's true. Pools that use the Clearwater ionization system sparkle with a water quality that exceeds the EPA standards for drinking water. Oh, and the benefits don't stop there. There's no need for chlorine in your pool ever again. That's right. No more allergic reactions, no harmful chemicals that can be absorbed into your skin. Oh, and here's the best part, more money in your pocket. Log on to poolschlorinefree.com and find out how your pool can become a mineral bath with copper and silver ions naturally. That website again is poolschlorinefree.com. That's poolschlorinefree.com. And kiss chlorine goodbye forever.
Hi, this is Tony Caruso, host of the Pool Fanatics, every Saturday at 5 p.m. here on WDBO, and owner of Orlando Luxury Pools by TC Water Features. Back in 1985, my wife Tina and I decided not only to get into the swimming pool business, but to do it better than any other company. Over the years, with proud partners like Superior Solar and Prestige Gunite, we have had the privilege of designing and building over 1,000 swimming pools and spas right here in Central Florida. Large or small, simple or extravagant, we believe that amazing things can happen in your backyard. Already have a swimming pool? We will redesign and update your pool with the same attention to detail as that of a new swimming pool. So call us today at 407-282-4911 and let's plan your backyard entertainment area together. 407-282-4911 or OrlandoLuxuryPools.com. Hey, and tune in Saturdays at 5 p.m. for the Pool Fanatics here on WDBO.
CBC 050506.
It's here, the event that puts the guitar in Guitar Center. 1 weekend a year where all guitars in the store, including our used vintage and platinum guitars, are marked down. It's Guitar Center's Guitarathon. Score never-before-seen low prices on Fender, Gibson, Gretsch, Taylor, Martin, Ibanez, and more. Plus markdowns on select amps, pedals, and accessories. Savings of up to 77% off list. Take home the guitar of your dreams during Guitar Center's Guitarathon. In Sunday, don't miss it.
Hi, this is Dale Gardner, owner of Senior Helpers here in Central Florida. Join me every Saturday at 6 a.m. for Living Well, an informative program about a senior in your life. Senior Helpers is an in-home care provider for seniors, whether it's you or a loved one. Meal preparation, companionship, housekeeping, errands, these are just a few of the services we offer. Call us at 407-628-HELP. That's 407-628-HELP. And listen this Saturday at 6 a.m.
This is Scott Inez. The Magic visit the Bucks tonight. Game time is 8:30. I'll have WDBO Coors Light Inside Magic live from NBA City beginning at 7. You're on the home of the Magic, WDBO.
We're back, and Dr. Anna Maria is with us from the Weather Channel, and she represents so many people that want to get energy efficient, but they want the benefits of a pool. They want to be able to swim in the pool, stay fit, keep their bodies active, and you can do that in Florida once you heat that pool and everything else. But she wants to be energy efficient. One of the most energy efficient people in the state of Florida, ladies and gentlemen.
I am flattered.
You are amazing. We're so honored to have you on the show. My God, I can't believe it.
I was thinking during the break, we are going to be presenting the Degree Innovation at Terra Verde, Tony. I'm not sure if you could join us, but January 14th, if folks want to come out, we are doing a 3-hour presentation. Basically, I did this project to inspire Floridians, inspire homeowners in general, that if you do have an old existing home, Terra Verde was built in 1970, the house and the barn. When I bought it, the original JCPenney curtains are on the wall, and the house was energy draining. And if anybody out there does have an old home, you know, those non-sexy items like insulation, windows, you know, those things go a long way, and you see an instant response when it comes to energy savings. We took up a major notch here on Terra Verde with doing the whole entire house and barn with LED lighting, the latest and greatest metal roofing with a PV solar laminate on the south-facing side that runs the house and the barn. And the one thing we want to do here, and we could speak further about this because I think this is a show in itself, is Terra Verde is heated and cooled by the earth. Basically, it's a constant 72 degrees here in Florida if you go 6 feet down, 4 to 6 feet in the ground all year round. So we are using the ground temperature to heat and cool this house, and I would like to work with you in basically heating my pool through the ground temperature.
That's a great way to recapture Mother Nature's ability to heat and cool your house.
70% the savings, man. This place was a work zone last year. I had workers coming and going. You remember that nice? I'm sorry, guys. I apologize to your viewers. I know I was breaking horse ice buckets of water last winter, and I had framers, kitchen guys, flooring guys working here, and to keep the house toasty, we took it up to 80 degrees to keep the guys nice and toasty and warm while they were working. And Terra Verde is about almost 3,500 square feet.
Good
and
Lord.
the heating bill for that work zone, for that time period, coldest winter in 40 years, was not even $75.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So anyway, but I would like to chat with you. That's going to be another conversation. But actually, we are. If folks want to tune into our website, and I don't mean to take a shameless plug here, but if people want to go to yourlifetv.com, it's yourlifetv.com. Starting in 2011, they could actually log on to our site and hopefully tune in here on a local station and be able to catch Your Life. And every week we're going to be coming back with an eco-healthy, high-performance home section. And I am planning to hopefully do something around the pool. And I'd be honored to have you be our pool guru in creating a high-efficient and a highly performing pool here on Terra Verde. I think we can do it together.
I'd be honored to do that. So I'll give the number here in a minute, but I'd be honored to do that. And I would assure you this: there's over 30 different things that I could do to your pool that would make it a green style pool. You know, everything from
not green colors.
Well, we know that. We know about green, no green pool, but recycled products. You know, reusing products that have already been used before. That's green. I believe you will believe that would be a green item. We
have plenty of the eco glass. We have plenty of recycled glass tiles that are basically about Terra Verde. And basically, I like to, hopefully even use some of those tiles in the interior of the pool because, again, yes, using some reclaimed, recycled content in the pool to give it some, fine, touches to it to make it kind of pretty but also efficient would be awesome.
We'd be honored to do so. And when we meet, we could go over all these little things that we can do for you and how we can help you save energy in building a pool that is very energy efficient by using products that are available that have been recycled.
Now, we're down to under a minute, so Dr. Anna Marie, we want to thank you so much for joining us. I want you to join us again in the near future. We want to hear all about this work in progress because it is leading the state in energy efficiency, and you are one whale of a wonderful person to do that. Numbers and website real quick, Tony.
Call us at 407-28...